Ever feel like you're caught in a current, Like something's pulling you along, but you can't quite see what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're diving into today, those subtle, almost invisible ways our emotions and decisions get tugged at in relationships.
And as a motivation library listener, well, you're clearly someone who's into self-awareness and growth.
Right, exactly.
So untangling these kind of hidden dynamics, super valuable stuff, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
Because we often think of manipulation as this, I don't know, big dramatic showdown.
Yeah.
But it's often much more subtle. It's that slow, almost imperceptible erosion of your sense of self and of your ability to trust your own judgment. It's like for anyone on the path of self-improvement, recognizing these tactics is a game changer.
Yes.
It's a superpower for creating healthier connections.
Yeah, it's totally. So today we're taking a deep dive into a book that really shines a light on all of this. It's called 30 Covert Emotional Manipulation Tactics: How Manipulators Take Control in Personal Relationships.
By Adelyn Birch, published back in 2014. And this isn't about, those mustache-twirling villains. It's about everyday, almost invisible behaviors that can really mess with your well-being. And across all kinds of relationships, not just romantic ones.
And that's what makes this book so powerful. It helps you spot those yellow flags, the ones that might just flicker and then disappear. But over time, you start to see a pattern of manipulation, and that's ultimately harmful. So our mission today, it's to distill the core wisdom from Birch's work and give you a practical understanding of these behaviors. And most importantly, how to protect yourself.
Exactly. We'll unpack the very definition of covert emotional manipulation, walk through those 19 signs you might be experiencing it, and then really get into the specifics of those 30 tactics Birch lays out.
Yes.
We'll also touch on things like, invalidation, intermittent reinforcement, just to give you the complete picture.
Right.
We'll be thorough, but we'll keep it engaging. This is a psychology lecture, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's start with the basics. What is covert emotional manipulation?
Okay, so at its heart, it's all about these underhanded methods of control.
Okay.
And they operate below the surface of your awareness. So the goal is to change your behavior and perceptions without you fully realizing it's happening.
Right.
It's like imagine someone secretly adjusting the thermostat.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And you gradually start feeling colder, but you don't know why.
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
And the danger there, it's obvious, right?
Right.
You don't know someone's messing with the emotional climate, so you can't really...
Exactly. You can't protect yourself. And Birch introduces us to this concept of the dark triad.
Okay.
These are psychopathic, narcissistic, and Machiavellian personality traits. And individuals who strongly exhibit these traits often lack empathy, and they're going to manipulate you in a very calculated way to achieve their own goals. They just don't care about the impact on you. They're very good at putting on a charming front. It's like a mask that hides their true intentions.
Yeah, like the, I don't know, like a charismatic con artist or something.
Yeah, actually, exactly.
That charming mask is what makes it so easy to be drawn in. You know? You think you met someone wonderful, and then behind it all.
Yeah, but Birch makes a really important point. Not all manipulation is coming from these extreme personality types.
Oh, okay.
Many people, even those who wouldn't be diagnosed with a personality disorder, might use manipulative tactics to get their needs met, sometimes without even realizing it.
Oh, that's interesting.
The key difference is, for chronic manipulators, this is their primary way of relating. There's no genuine connection, no real love or true intimacy. It's a constant pattern, not just an isolated incident.
I see. So it's that consistency and the intention behind it that really makes a manipulation. But regardless of where it comes from, what's the impact of this kind of manipulation?
Okay, so basically it wears down your ability to make clear decisions. Decisions that align with what's good for you, with your values, your boundaries. It pushes you to do things you wouldn't ordinarily do. And over time, it can really chip away at your self-worth, your self-confidence, and crucially, your trust in your own perceptions. It's like you're constantly being told the sky's green until you start to believe it.
Yeah.
You start compromising your own needs, losing self-respect.
Right. It's almost like handing over the control of your own life.
Exactly. And Birch makes it clear, for a manipulator to be successful, especially those who are more calculated, they need to understand you, your vulnerabilities, and they have to be really good at hiding their intentions and their behaviors. And they need a certain ruthlessness, this lack of concern for the harm they inflict. It's about control.
Wow. So they're really studying you, figuring out your weaknesses while keeping their agenda hidden. How do they even pull that off? What's the secret sauce?
Well, they often exploit your trust, any self-doubt or insecurities you have, And they prey on really powerful emotions like guilt, fear of abandonment, the desire for love and approval, shame.
Right.
And sometimes they actually manufacture those emotions, make you feel extra guilty or fearful just to keep you off balance. So you're less likely to think critically.
Oh, wow. It's like they're playing this subtle, very personal game of, I don't know, emotional chess.
Exactly.
Now, the book focuses a lot on romantic relationships.
Right.
But these tactics, they're not limited to that, are they?
Absolutely not. These are tactics of influence,
Mm.
of control.
Yeah.
And they can be used by anyone, manipulative friends, family members.
Oh, yeah.
Think about controlling parents, siblings.
Yeah.
Coworkers, bosses, even neighbors.
Oh, I can see that.
I think we've all encountered a child or two who knows how to get what they want.
Oh, yeah.
So the examples might be from romantic relationships,
Sure.
but the principles apply broadly.
Okay, so we know what covert manipulation is. We know the kind of people who might use it.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we figure out if it's happening to us?
Right.
Chapter 2 in the book dives into 19 signs.
Yeah, exactly. And Birch makes it very clear. This type of manipulation can be so subtle, it can control you for a long time before you even suspect something's wrong. Months, even years.
Wow.
It's like she uses this analogy of a puppet master
Okay.
pulling your strings.
Oh.
You think you're making your own choices, but really someone else is controlling you.
That's a creepy image.
It is, right.
Like, you think you're in control, but someone else is writing the script. And I think a key point Birch makes is that even if you can't identify the exact tactics being used, you can still recognize if you're being manipulated, just by paying attention to how it's making you feel.
Yes, exactly. You don't need to be a psychologist to realize something in a relationship feels off.
Yeah.
Birch presents these 19 signs.
Okay.
And experiencing one or two of them occasionally, that might not be a huge red flag. We all have bad days. But if you notice a cluster of these signs consistently, that should raise some serious concern.
Okay, so let's walk through some of those key indicators. The first one is that the joy you felt at finding love, at connecting with this person, that's gradually turned into fear of losing them.
Yeah.
That happiness is overshadowed by anxiety, maybe even desperation. You're constantly walking on eggshells.
Yes, and that feeling is very common. Another sign is that your mood is entirely dependent on the relationship.
Right.
Extreme highs when things are good, devastating lows when there's conflict. It's like your emotional state is controlled by this one person.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and there's that confusing feeling too. Being unhappy, uncertain most of the time.
Yeah.
But then terrified of losing the relationship because of those moments of intense bliss.
Right, like chasing a high.
It is, yeah. You're chasing a high that's rarer and rarer.
Exactly. And then you might start feeling like you're ruining something good,
Okay.
but you have no idea how.
Right.
The relationship itself feels too complex to explain. It's like it's
Yeah.
hard to explain, it's just complicated.
Oh, I've heard that one.
Right.
And to be honest, I probably said it myself a few times.
Right. And then there's the constant analyzing.
Oh, yeah.
Picking apart every interaction, replaying conversations, trying to figure it all out,
Right.
talking it to death with your friends.
Yes. Yeah.
But never really reaching a resolution.
Okay, that's because you never feel secure.
Exactly. You never know where you stand.
Yeah.
You constantly wonder if something's wrong.
Right.
And you're always on the defensive.
Yeah. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Always having to explain yourself,
Right.
justify your actions, apologize for things you didn't even do.
Exactly. It's exhausting. And you might notice new issues cropping up. Trust problems, jealousy, insecurity,
Right.
anger, overreacting. And the manipulator might even point these out to you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, see?
You're being insecure.
Oh, the classic deflection.
Right.
Birch also mentions this thing of becoming a detective.
Oh, yes.
Constantly checking their social media, their messages, needing to know where they are, what they're doing.
That's a huge sign something's not right, isn't it?
It is. And you might feel like you can never make them happy, no matter how much you try. And expressing your feelings, any negative thoughts,
Oh, yeah.
that feels restricted, forbidden.
It is.
You can't communicate openly and honestly.
And that's such a red flag.
It is.
Because healthy relationships, they thrive on that.
Exactly.
Open, honest communication. And then there's this heartbreaking part. You start feeling worse about yourself, less confident, less secure than you were before the relationship.
Yes. That erosion of self-worth, it's a damaging consequence.
It is. And you always feel like you're not good enough,
Right.
not meeting their expectations, no matter what you do.
Exactly. And the guilt.
The guilt, oh yeah.
You're constantly apologizing,
Yeah.
even for tiny things. Blaming yourself when they pull away.
It's like they somehow made you responsible for their feelings
Exactly.
and their actions.
Mm.
And so you end up controlling your words, your actions around them, censoring yourself
Yeah.
just to avoid criticism.
Right.
Or worse, the withdrawal of their affection. It's like walking on eggshells,
Yeah.
terrified to make the wrong move.
Exactly. And all that suppression, it can lead to these emotional outbursts. Anger, frustration, out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Totally out of character for you.
Yeah. And then maybe the most telling sign,
Mm-hmm.
you start doing things you're not okay with.
Yeah.
They go against your values.
Yes. Just to keep the peace, to save the relationship.
It is, yeah. Compromising your beliefs to stay with someone. Something's really wrong. Now, Birch does mention this thing about pre-existing insecurity, right?
Yes. It's important to consider if you have a history of insecurity or anxiety.
Right.
That could be influencing your perceptions. And if that's the case, therapy can be really helpful.
Yeah.
But if these negative feelings are new, if they started with this relationship,
Right.
then they're probably a direct response to the manipulation.
Okay. And it's a fair question. Why stay in a relationship that hurts so much? Birch talks about those early days.
Yeah.
That honeymoon phase, when everything seems perfect.
Mm-hmm. It can feel amazing.
It does.
Yeah.
And then things change.
Yeah.
And you just want that magic back.
Right.
Right.
You want that initial feeling back. And the manipulator often makes you feel responsible for the problems.
Oh.
So you try to fix things, regain that lost connection, and it just becomes this unhealthy cycle.
It does, yeah. It's like you're chasing a ghost.
Yeah.
And the manipulator, whether they realize it or not, they know exactly how to keep you hooked.
Right.
Birch even quotes Harriet Breaker.
Yeah.
And she describes manipulation as this process, right?
Yeah.
Of promised gains that never quite happen.
Yeah.
And this constant threat of loss.
Yes.
Which just creates uncertainty and doubt.
Mm-hmm. And that uncertainty and doubt, those are key tools.
Yeah.
The manipulator uses them to keep you off balance, eager to please.
Oh, yeah.
Less likely to challenge them. It's that unpredictable back and forth that keeps you hooked.
It does, yeah. And there's this quote from Joe Navarro. He says, "It doesn't matter how you got into the relationship. The key is recognizing when it becomes one-sided, exploitative,
Yeah.
toxic."
Mm-hmm.
He has these questions we should all ask ourselves.
Yeah.
Are they using charm to control you?
Yeah.
Are they manipulating your feelings, your decisions?
Mm-hmm.
Are they hurting you? Emotionally, even physically?
Mm-hmm.
Does it always feel like a one-way street?
Right.
And most importantly, are you hurting as a result?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer is yes,
Yes.
then it's time to seriously consider getting out.
Absolutely. You have no obligation to stay and be a victim.
Right. And Birch is clear about this.
Right.
She says emotional manipulation is a form of emotional abuse,
Mm-hmm.
and she urges people to leave.
If possible.
Yeah.
And to seek professional help if they need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because this kind of manipulation can have lasting effects.
it can.
Now, only you can decide if a relationship can be saved.
Right.
But Birch's point is self-awareness.
Yes,
That's your best defense.
it is. Being aware of the signs, the dynamics, that's how you protect yourself.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get to the juicy stuff.
Right, the playbook.
Yeah. Chapter 3.
Yes.
The 30 Covert Manipulation Tactics.
This is where it gets really interesting, because Birch breaks down the specific behaviors manipulators use, and it can be shocking, honestly.
I bet. So the first one, intermittent reinforcement.
Yes, and there's this quote that sums it up perfectly. The less love you're offered, the more hooked you become.
Wow, that's kind of dark.
It is.
Yeah.
So intermittent reinforcement is when the manipulator gives you those good things, attention, praise, affection, but only randomly. One day they shower you with love and you feel amazing.
Right.
And then the next they're cold and distant.
Yeah.
And you're left wondering what you did wrong.
Yeah.
And this inconsistency creates doubt, fear. It makes you constantly seek those moments of positive reinforcement
Yeah.
just to feel okay.
Right.
And when you do get that reward, it feels so good.
It does. It's like,
Yeah.
a huge relief.
Right.
Like someone threw you a lifeline.
Exactly. It's like a slot machine for affection.
Yeah.
You keep pulling the lever, hoping for that win.
It is, yeah. It's that hope that maybe this time you'll get what you need.
Right.
And that makes it so addictive.
It really does. Because that unpredictability actually floods your brain with dopamine. It creates a reward pathway.
Wow. So it's literally addictive.
It can be. It makes you crave the manipulator's approval. And the messed up thing is the bond can actually strengthen because of this treatment.
Wow. That's pretty messed up.
It is, yeah.
Okay, the second tactic, negative reinforcement.
Right.
So this is when they stop doing something you don't like as soon as you do what they want.
Right, exactly. Like, let's say they're giving you the silent treatment
Okay.
because you went out with your friends.
Yeah.
They suddenly become communicative again
Right.
as soon as you agree to stay home next time.
Okay.
So you learn to associate pleasing them with the end of something bad.
Interesting. So it's about avoiding something negative, not getting something positive.
Exactly.
And over time, I can see how that would really control someone. The third tactic is backing into an emotional corner.
Yeah, this one can get intense.
It sounds like
The
it.
manipulator will intentionally provoke you,
Okay.
maybe with false accusations, pointless arguments, anything to push your buttons.
Yeah.
And when you get upset,
Yeah, which you inevitably do.
right, they immediately turn it around and accuse you of being overly emotional, unstable,
Oh, I see.
crazy, having anger issues.
So it's all about shifting the focus.
Exactly. From their behavior
Yeah.
to your reaction.
Right. They set you up to have a meltdown and
Yeah.
then make it seem like you're the problem.
Exactly. They'll say things like, see, you're doing it again, or I can't deal with all this drama.
Ugh, that's awful. And it would make you feel so ashamed.
Right. Like, you really are the problem.
Yeah, you start questioning yourself.
Right. Like, am I going crazy? It's a terrible cycle because it really undermines your trust in your own emotions.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4 is shifting the focus.
Right.
And Birch says this often it goes hand in hand with backing someone into a corner.
It does, because it's all about avoiding accountability.
It is, yeah. Like if you try to bring up a concern
Right.
or address a problem,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you suspect they're cheating.
Right.
Instead of talking about it, the manipulator will deny it
Yeah.
and then immediately turn it on you.
Mm-hmm. They'll say, you're so insecure, so jealous,
Yeah.
and suddenly you're the problem.
Right. Your valid concern is now a flaw.
Exactly. And Birch has this example of a woman who finds clear evidence of an affair,
Right.
and yet her partner somehow makes her feel guilty for not trusting him.
Wow. It's crazy making.
It really is. They twist reality so that normal rules don't apply.
Okay. Number 5 is premature disclosure. And this sounds like a trap, especially early on.
It can be. This is when they reveal all this personal stuff really quickly. Deep fears, dreams, maybe even past trauma.
Yeah.
And it creates this false sense of closeness.
Oh, yeah.
You feel like you've connected on this really deep level.
You do.
And naturally, you reciprocate. You share your own vulnerabilities, and the manipulator files that away
Yeah.
to use against you later.
Right.
It's a way to speed up intimacy. But it's built on manipulation.
It is, yeah. It's like you're sharing your soul, but it's all a game to them.
Right.
Number 6 is triangulation.
Yes.
This one always sounds messy.
It can be. This is where they bring a third person into the mix, either literally by always talking about them,
Right.
or figuratively by making comparisons.
Yeah. Yeah.
The goal is to make you insecure,
Yeah.
jealous, competitive.
I see. They want you to fight for their attention.
Exactly. They might bring up an ex, flirt with someone else in front of you.
Oh, wow. That's harsh.
Right.
If you confront them, they'll probably blame your insecurity.
Right. Classic deflection. And Birch even says they might be grooming that third person as a potential partner
Wow.
while they're devaluing you.
That's cold.
It is.
In a healthy relationship, you feel secure.
Right.
You don't have to constantly prove yourself.
Exactly.
Okay. Number 7 is blaming the victim. And this is sadly really common.
It is. This is where they hold you responsible for all the problems.
Right.
Even when it's clearly their fault.
Yeah. As things start falling apart,
You're right.
they twist the story. They say you're the one to blame.
Mm-hmm. And they're very good at getting other people on their side.
Oh, wow.
So you're isolated. You don't have support.
Right.
Birch even says skilled manipulators can make themselves look like the victim.
Oh, wow. So they flip the script. The person causing harm is suddenly the one who's hurt.
Exactly.
Okay. Number 8 is indirect insults and abuse.
Yeah.
So this is where they disguise their negativity, right?
Instead of just insulting you, they hide it. They make it look like they're helping you, giving you advice, or even paying you a compliment.
Right.
But it's all designed to hurt you, to undermine you. Birch gives some examples, like saying you look good in a slimming dress,
Oh, yeah.
implying you need to be slimmer, or calling you an adequate partner.
Right.
Not exactly a glowing review.
No. Those are those backhanded compliments
Yeah.
where you feel bad even though it sounded sort of nice.
Exactly. They chip away at you, but it's hard to call them out on it.
It is, yeah. Because they can just play innocent.
Yeah.
So you misunderstood their good intentions.
Uh-huh.
Okay, number 9 is insinuating comments or compliments.
Right. This is about planting seeds of doubt, discomfort.
Yeah. So they'll say something seemingly harmless, even nice,
Mm-hmm.
but it's crafted to evoke a negative reaction, maybe make you feel jealous,
Yeah.
inadequate.
Exactly.
And when you react,
Right.
they'll pretend they're innocent.
Right.
Say you completely misinterpreted them.
It's really messed up.
Birch's example of the prostitute comment after sex. That's just jarring.
It is.
It makes you feel so insecure, so confused.
It does.
And you end up questioning what they really meant.
Right.
And doubting yourself.
Exactly. It's a way to hurt you and avoid responsibility. Number 10 is guilt. And manipulators are experts at using this.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They know how to weaponize your conscience.
Right. They'll make you feel so guilty
Yeah.
for not doing exactly what they want.
Right. It doesn't matter what you need.
Exactly. They'll say things like, if you really loved me, you would. Or
Right.
after everything I've done for you.
Right. It's all about playing on your empathy, your fear of letting them down.
Mm-hmm. Even when the requests are unreasonable.
Yeah. Okay, number 11 is shame.
Right.
And this feels much deeper than guilt. Like it's an attack on who you are.
It is. Shame isn't about feeling bad for something you did. It's about feeling unworthy.
Right.
Manipulators will use disgust, put-downs,
Right.
comparisons to other people
Right.
to make you feel inadequate. Birch even quotes a psychologist, Gershon Kaufman.
Okay.
He says, shame is the most disturbing experience individuals ever have about themselves.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
It really does hit you at your core.
It does. And Birch points out a lot of these tactics we've talked about can lead to shame.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Anything that makes you feel like you're jeopardizing the relationship,
yeah.
risking rejection, it can trigger shame. Okay, number 12 is empty words.
Right. And this one's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because it creates a false sense of security.
Exactly. They say all the right things.
Right.
I love you, you're so special, I'll change.
Yeah.
But their actions tell a different story.
They do.
They're just using words to get what they want.
Right. To control you. And
Uh-huh.
Birch's advice here is so important. Pay attention to actions, not just words.
Absolutely. If someone's words and actions don't match up, big red flag.
Yeah. Actions speak louder than words. Okay. Number 13 is crazy making. Even the name sounds scary.
It is scary. This is when they deny saying or doing something that you know they did.
Right.
You know it happened. They know it happened, but they'll insist it never did.
Wow. That's so disorienting. It would make you question your memory,
Right.
your grip on reality. Birch's comment about recording every conversation just to prove it happened, that's spot on.
It is. This
Yeah.
is why.
Yeah. Okay, number 14 is gaslighting. And I think most